Hey, good people, it's Carla P. Yarbrough of carlapyarbrough.com. And I was thinking about you today because I am always thinking about you. And the reason I was thinking about you today, as you can see, I'm out and about, and it's the middle of the day. And if you can see, as you can see by the title of this video, and it's not clickbait. Trust and believe, it's not clickbait. I got fired. And so I figured I'd come over here and tell you the story of how I got fired and the reason I'm not upset about it, because I am not upset about it. First of all, this is the first time firing has ever happened to me in my life. So when it first happened, it happened like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago. Anyway, it happened like 2 weeks ago. And when it first happened, because it's never happened to me before, never experienced it, don't plan to experience it again. But when it first happened to me, I was shocked. I was like, what is really going on? So, as many of you know, I am a entrepreneur. I'm a business owner, and I'm a purpose consultant. And what that means is I help other people find the purpose that God has given them and walk out and live out their purpose, right? And so I have my own business. I'm a consultant. I also help people that have businesses learn to make sure that their businesses are pleasing God and they're within their purpose and that they're using their people correctly. So there's a lot of things that I do within my business. I'm a consultant, just mainly just as a consultant. And so I've been working my own business, but I have also been working a job. And if you know anything about me, and if you heard, been watching videos, you know that I have been a case manager because my degree, my master's is in human and social services. I love people, which is obvious because I love you guys and I like coming on and talking to you guys about various things and helping you guys find and walk out your purpose. Well, I have been working as a case manager for a while and I have become really stressed out. And, if you've been watching my videos, I've been talking a lot about staying motivated, not being stressed, and taking time for yourself. And all of that was because these are things I have been going through myself, being very stressed out with just being a employed entrepreneur as I had deemed myself. I was an employed entrepreneur. That being the case, the stress had been getting really, really bad. Really bad. I had been, trying to help my kids because I have emerging adults and just really trying to help them, with their college, ventures and walk out their purpose. And my husband's an entrepreneur also. He's a television producer. And so many wonderful things have been happening for him and, with his career but just still being that helpmeet that I'm supposed to be and, working in my business and then also being a case manager, which is a whole lot because it requires you to deal with other people's pain every single day. You're dealing with their pain and everybody's situation is an emergency because the people I was working with, the people I was working with, they were all hurting. They had all had some form of injury, quadriplegic, brain injuries, and a lot of things that were really going on with them. And so it was really stressful for me. The job was stressful. The employee job was stressful, but then also as a consultant and as a business owner, there's a lot of things that fall on you because especially when you're doing most of it yourself and you're really a sole proprietor, you do a lot of work yourself. So it was just like really, really, really stressful for me. And I was tripping. I needed a vacation. I needed a break. And I kept crying, Lord, I need a vacation. Lord, I need a vacation. Lord, I need a vacation. And it was just really, really ridiculous. So let's fast forward to how I got fired. I'd gone to work. I had worked all week. I had been, but the previous Monday before I got fired, I was really, really, really tired, really, really, really stressed. And I was talking to my daughter. She was supposed to be getting something done for herself that she was not doing. And I lost it. I was on the phone with her and I lost it. I had a whole serious breakdown. I'm talking tears. I wasn't yelling, but I was just like, I'm talking tears. I had like a serious breakdown, meltdown on her because I was just so tired and so stressed and I'm trying to get her to do what she needed to do. And she's, being 19, which she is, and not understanding the urgency and the importance of what she was supposed to be doing. And I just couldn't handle it at that moment with everything that was going on and I lost it. I was just tripping. I had a meltdown on her, and then so I got off the phone with her, and I immediately called my big sister. You know what happens when when the little sister is feeling it, she calls the big sister. So I called my sister, and I was crying all on her, all in her ear for like 30 minutes, and she just listened, and I just had this like full blown meltdown. Mind you, I'm at work, and my job was in the field, so I was in my car, and I was on my way to an appointment. And so I'm having a serious meltdown. I'm doing a hiccup crying. You don't understand. And I'm so tired. And nobody is. And I'm just going off and seriously tripping. And my sister, she just listened. And she said, she prayed for me. And she was like, okay. But I had to get out of the car. And I had to go into my appointment. So I'm trying to pull it together. Eyes are red. Nose is red. Looking like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with an allergy. Yes, I did. All of that. So I get in there and I do my job. I had to pull it together real quick. I had to deal with my patient who is a quadriplegic at the patient I was dealing with at that time. It was a long appointment, and just really stressing, and all the while getting all these calls. So I did my job for that day, went home, worked on my business, helped my family, got my daughter together, everything. The next day, which was Tuesday, I was getting ready for work, and I had some appointments or whatever. My husband was sitting at his desk, and he was working. And I said something to him, and I told him that I had a meltdown. I hadn't told him that I had a meltdown on my daughter the other day. My daughter lives on campus. She's in college. She lives on campus. And I hadn't told him, but I told him just then. I was telling him how I was really stressed. I kept saying I needed a vacation. And I told him how I was really, really stressed and how I had a meltdown on my daughter the day before. And he kind of stopped, and he looked at me, and he was listening. He stopped. He closed his laptop, and he was listening to me as I was talking. And then as I was talking to him, I had another full-blown meltdown. I'm just stressed, and I need a vacation, and I'm just tired. I'm sick of this because I've been working. Now, just to give you a little backstory, I have been working nonstop for a year. I had been working both I had been working a job. Excuse me, I've been working a job. I just started this particular job in July that I got fired from. But I've been working another job prior to that. And I had been working for a year. I did not take a break between jobs. I just went from one 40-hour-a-week job to the next 40-hour-a-week job, but all the while working my business and being a consultant, helping my family, doing all the things that moms and wives do, right? So I was tired, and I was telling him I needed a break from everything. And I had another full-blown meltdown on Tuesday morning on my husband. It was just not pretty. He just sat there and he listened, and he told me, he says, we're going to get this taken care of, and we're going to make sure that you get to the vacation that you need. And, he counseled me. He consoled me and everything. So when I finished having my meltdown and I finished getting consoled, my husband sent me on out the door, and I went on to work, right? So I went to work the whole day. I went to work the whole day. And did everything that I needed to do. And then, so the following day, which was, next day was Wednesday. Well, Wednesday and Thursday, my father was having, so my elderly father, whom I love, he is like the air I breathe. My father is wonderful. My elderly father was having surgery, and he lives like 3 hours away from me, about 2.5, 3 hours away from me. So me and my older sister packed up, and we went down to see about him and make sure he and my elderly mother had everything that they needed for his surgery. So I go down there and I advocate for him with the doctors and do all the stuff that I normally would be doing for work while I'm still working. Now, mind you, I'm still answering emails and answering calls and everything for my job and doing my business at the same time, trying to see about my father. So I am just stressed. It is just, the stress is just building this whole entire week. So Thursday, so we talked about Monday, my meltdown with my daughter. We talked about Tuesday, my meltdown with my husband. Wednesday, I'm down with my parents. I'm taking care of them. Wednesday and Thursday, I'm taking care of them. I come back Thursday evening, and I get a little bit of rest because we got back kind of early. So I got a little bit of rest. When I woke up on Friday morning, I still had to go to work. And I had appointments. So I get up and I have my appointments, and I started working, and immediately my phone starts ringing. I'm putting out fires with all my clients and everything like that. About 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I had one more appointment that was supposed to be coming up at 3 o'clock. About 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I get a call from the company owner, and he says he needs to see me in his office. I'm like, okay. I said, well, I have one more appointment at 3 o'clock. Can I come after that? And initially he said yes, but then he called me back and he says, well, no, I need to see you pretty much immediately. So you can just come on to the office. We'll find somebody else to cover your appointment. Okay, cool. I knew I had I knew I had a client that was kind of difficult, that was having some medical issues that needed to be taken care of. And he said he wanted to talk to me about that. And I said, okay, fine, I'll do that. So I'll come on in. So I get to the office, I sit there, I'm chit-chatting while he was doing something else. I'm sitting there chit-chatting with the lady from HR. I sat there talking to her for about 25 minutes, just laughing and joking about, everything that was going on and, and just relaxing because I desperately needed it. So he said, so my boss comes around the corner. He says, oh, Carla, come into my office. And I said, okay. So I sit down. And so I sit down and he says, well, listen, I trust, I just want to let you know that we're going to have to end your time here. Excuse me, what? He tells me that the lead case manager, the director of case management, felt that I wasn't working out for them and he needed to, and they were terminating my employment. Excuse me, what? What are we talking about? I said, but wait a minute. I've never been written up. I've never been called in for corrective action. Nobody has called me and said, Carla, things are not working out. What is really going on? Why am I being dismissed? He could not tell me. He kept telling me he trusted his director of case management, and she felt that I was not working out with the company. Now, you need to know that I, at the time, was working in the state that I live in. At the time, was a right-to-work state. 2 days after I got the next Monday after I get let go, our governor repealed the right-to-work state. So it was no longer a right-to-work state. Just know that, okay? So that went away like 2 days after I got fired. But Friday, it was still a right-to-work state when they fired me. And they did not have to give me a reason for firing me because a right-to-work state means that you can quit at any time or they can let you go at any time without cause. So they did not give me a reason as to why they were firing me. We just don't feel that you're working out here. Remind you, I had never been written up, and I said, well, you got to give me something. I'm like, okay, you got to tell me something. I'm not begging for the job, but I'm like, I need to know something. He says, well, they felt that you're not as communicative as you needed to be with the rest of the team. I said, but I was never written up. I was never called in for corrective action. What are you talking about? I was just stunned. And I was like, you know what? Fine. I said, but when I didn't even get angry. I think I was just too tired at the time to be angry because remind you, I had been tired for a while. So I just kind of let it go. And I was like, okay, well, all right. So I'd handed him my laptop at the time, my company card. Gave him the keys to the company car, told him where to pick. The company car was in the shop, so they needed to pick it up, told him where to pick it up, and gave him everything. And I left. I was not mad. I was not angry. Wasn't going to pitch a fit. What am I going to do that for? God's got me, right? So I get home and I tell my husband and he's like, okay. My sister was like, huh? But okay. I slept. The reason you're just getting this video now is because I have been asleep for the past 2 weeks. I have been sleeping for the past 2 weeks because I was so very, very tired. I was extremely tired because I was exhausted because I couldn't do anything else. I had been working so hard for everybody, my business, someone else, the employment I was having, my family, everything. I was just so tired. So I have literally been sleeping for the past 2 weeks, just trying to catch up on rest. I've taken a 2-week vacation and now I'm back. But, as I think about it, and, I know that my purpose is to help people find and walk out their purpose, the God-given purpose the Lord has for me, for them to walk out. And with that being the case, I am not upset about being fired, even though it was the first time it has ever happened to me, and I am still very shocked and like, for real, I'm not upset about it. What I will say is that it has freed me up to do the thing that the Lord has called me to do. It has truly freed me up to work my business the way I need to work my business. I have some exciting things coming up. Guess what? I haven't talked to you about this because I've been so tired. I always forget to tell you guys, I wrote a book. I finished the book. And I'm in the public. I mean, I'm looking for a publisher right now. I'm in negotiations with different publishers to see which is the best publishing deal. And the book is all for you, and it's all about how to find and walk out your purpose that God has given you, and how to plan for that purpose. So I'm been able to really focus on getting the publishing taken care of. I've been able to focus on taking more speaking engagements so that I can help groups of people at a time. Learn more about purpose and how to walk out the purpose God has for them, how to find it and walk it out. I am excited about everything that's happening. This has been the best thing that could have happened to me. Did I get fired? Yes. Ooh, I'm outside and the wind is blowing in my eye, making me tear up. Anyway, did I get fired? Yes. Am I upset about it? No. Was I shocked when it happened? Oh yeah. Still don't know what happened. You know, I do know what happened. I had a meltdown on Monday. I had a meltdown on Tuesday, and the Lord was like, enough. He was like, enough. Go do what I told you to do. Walk out your purpose. And your purpose is not to work a 9-to-5 in case management. As wonderful and as honorable as that job was, as wonderful as it was to be able to help so many people, and I loved my clients. They were some amazing people. I loved them so much, and I still do. I wish I could talk to them. They never got to hear why I was all of a sudden gone. But as wonderful as it was, it's not what I'm called to do. Am I upset about it? No. So here's what I'm going to say. If you find yourself in an abrupt situation, leaving a job or something like that, before you get so upset about the fact that you lost the job or got laid off from a job or got, something was taken away from you, I want you to stop and see if that was what the Lord had for you to do. If you were doing something outside of the will of God, outside of your purpose, and He had to say, no, that's not it. Now, do bills still come every week? Yeah, every month? Yes, they do. And you know what? The Lord has promised. He is faithful and just. He's going to take care of His people. He says, if you seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, everything that you need, meaning what you will eat, what you will wear, what you will drink, where you're going to live, all of that will be added unto you. And so I trust Him for that. I'm trusting Him for that. Even in the midst of being fired. Which is still tripping me out. But I just want to tell you the story because it was interesting, and I also let you know why I've been gone for 2 weeks. I've been sleeping, but I'm back. I'm awake now. And me and this wind is not getting along. It's blowing in my eye, making my eye dry. Anyway, me and this wind are not getting along, so I'm going to get out of here. But I just wanted to let you know I am so excited for the future. Look out for the book. I am looking. It will be published soon. I'm looking to see which deal the Lord would have me take on the publishing, because I've never published a book before, but I have 3 other books that come behind this on purpose. So there's the first in the series, but I am so excited about all that's going to happen with the book and all the speaking engagements and all the people I will be able to meet and talk to and help find and walk out the purpose that God has given to them. Okay. I will talk to you soon. I have been talking for a good long while. I know y'all probably tired of me now, so I'm going to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.